Hello everyone in the EDAP 585 class, Integrating Technology into Education. This is an introductory video that I will send to everyone, but it does have specific instructions for our distance ed members of our class, and I'm going to be showing that to them and you. If you are not a distance ed member of our class, you do not have to watch this video all the way through. Every Friday before class, you will receive a video of the upcoming Monday's class and what we will be doing, with specific instructions and demonstrations of some of the Web 2.0 software that we'll be doing in class. I do this so that you can be better prepared when you walk in the door every Monday at 4:30. I will give a quick overview of how our class is set up here, but specifically I want to focus on folks getting into something called Collaborate, which is the tool that our distance ed members of our class will be using. So let's get at it. As you can see on the screen, this is your start here. In other words, this is where Blackboard will throw you when you come into class, and this is where I need to make the first distinction. If you are a member of the Distance Ed section of this course, you will see two courses when you log in. One will say EDAP 585-50, but it also will say EDAP 585-75. You must use the EDAP 585-75 as your home course. You're enrolled in this course. You are enrolled in Collaborate in this course. So everything you do through this particular Blackboard space will be represented in your products and in your final grade. So don't let it throw you. By the way, that's my phone going off with text. One of the things that I will talk to you about on Monday is the fact that I am always available to you through text. These are texts that people are sending me about their independent studies and their course by conferences that they're going to do this semester. All right, let's look real fast at what it looks like. And as I said, I'll go into a lot more detail on this on Friday. Here's your syllabus. It's all in, it's all set, it's all ready to go. Here's your course modules. These are where the actual rubber meets the road, so to speak, in our class. We'll be using these two guys' work in our class. This is Dr. Michael Fullen. He was our latest Grommeyer Award winner at the College of Education, University of Louisville. And then here's one of my heroes. This is Sir Ken Robinson. You'll hear more about Ken. You click on this link, and now here's your work. This is what we will be doing in our class. Each one of these modules is designated with a class number. In other words, this first module will take us 3 classes, and the dates. Please take the time to read what it says on these modules. Yes, the assignments are the same as reflected on your syllabus, but there's a lot more information here about whatever it is that we are doing. So as you can see, each module has its own focus. These are the things that we'll be doing in class. Everything we do in class. For those of you who are taking the class as a distance ed course, you will want to make sure that you and I have a connection via text so that if you have any questions, you can ask. But in class, you will be using something called Collaborate, and let me show you how that works. So you click on the link here that says EDAP 585 Collaborate. I have a little video here that will explain Collaborate to you, as well as this video that I'm creating. And as you can see, when you click on the link, it says Join Room. Now please don't look at any of this stuff over here on the right. I don't understand why it's even here. I can't change any of this. If I wanted to, of course, I would put my phone number here, which is readily available to you on the syllabus, 502-457-2937. But as you can see, there's this information. Just pay no attention to it. Pay attention to this, where it says join room. And then this is the first thing you need to deal with as a distance educator. You realize that Blackboard and Collaborate are two different entities. When you start Collaborate, you're actually leaving the Blackboard environment. And as I'll show you here in a second, it gets a little strange sometimes. So it is very important that you take the time to try it out, get everything on your computer set up so that you can use Collaborate seamlessly when we start class. Now you'll notice here it says the Blackboard Collaborate launcher makes joining sessions and playing recordings simple and reliable. Okay, I'll take that at their word. If you're a first-time user, you'll want to download the launcher. If you have installed the launcher already on your computer, you will launch it here. Now, I'm on a Mac, and I'm running inside of Firefox. I can assure you that everything that I'm showing you here is the same if you are on a Windows machine. I don't care if you're Windows 7, 8, or I don't know about 10, but I'm assured that it works. The thing that I want you to do is to try all this before class next Monday. So if you do have problems, you can let me know. Also, understand, Collaborate is a Java-based program. It is a Java-based program. So, if your Java on your machine is not of the current version that Collaborate uses, it will not work. Now, the nice news is that your computer will tell you that. And most of the time when it happens, it says, here, go here and get the latest version of Java. So you'll need to have the latest version of Java. This launcher, really, it should be called the Java launcher, because that's what it does, is it downloads a little Java app and puts it on your computer. Once you have it installed on your computer at home, by the way, the school computers will do this as well. If you have a TIP computer from Jefferson County, you can now click on Launch Collaborate Now. And as you can see, it's looking around for what it calls Meeting Collab. That is the name of the Java file that it puts on your computer. I'm going to tell it to go ahead and open that because I've already done it once. Once you do it, it then remembers. So I said, okay, go ahead and start. What happened? Well, it looks like nothing's happening. And that's probably one of the biggest problems that you will run into with Collaborate. Right now, behind the scenes, as you can see, it is opening up the Java app. Now, you get this kind of scary message. It says, do you want to run this application? With a big old exclamation mark. There's a wonderful story behind why this happens with Java, but let's just leave it at this. Java is a known security threat for a lot of programs. What you can do at this point, the first time this launches, is you can click this little box right here. It says, you don't need to show this to me, please, every time you then run it. And so now what it's doing is it's launching the Collaborate environment. Does it launch it immediately? Not really. So again, you have to realize that you're going to have to give yourself some time to get this going. What I do is I make the Blackboard Collaborate class available to you 1 hour before class starts. I would strongly urge you to take advantage of that ability. Now it's popping up and it's asking me if I want to start recording. That is what happens when I go into the course, because I'm the owner. And I'm going to tell it to close that right now because I don't want to be recording inside of here. As you can see, you have multiple ways of interacting with the course. I will have turned on what's called screen sharing, and what you'll see is whatever is behind us. In other words, right now I'm looking at the Blackboard space. You will want to follow the wizards, the various wizards that are in here, so that you can have everything set up correctly. I'll go to Tools, I'll come down to Audio, and I'll say Audio Setup Wizard. And you want to do this to make sure everything that you are using inside of Collaborate, specifically your microphone and your speakers, are working correctly. Down here, there's one for video. We do not use video very often in class, mainly because it has a nasty habit of crashing Collaborate. But you'll be able to see me because I'm the one who will be using the video. We might experiment with using video for you to share things with us in the class. As you will notice when you read through the syllabus and the modules, we build a lot of projects that we can share. Okay? Now, what I want you to look at is inside of here, you'll see that there's all kinds of symbols that represent who I am. In other words, this is what I can do. You will be able to talk in class. The way you do that is you just click this button right here that says Talk. And as you can see, it's showing that I'm talking. I urge members who are in the Distance Ed course just to turn this on. But, and this is a huge, huge important point, please, 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 when you are in class, have a set of headphones with you at all times. Wear the headphones when you are in class. If you turn on your talk button without headphones on, 9 times out of 10 you'll get this horrible feedback. It'll sound like you're talking from space. There's this echoey, tin can sounding thing. And we don't want that. But if you just plug in a set of headphones, and headphones don't matter. It can be a pair of little white earbuds from, your favorite iPhone, up to a big old pair of Beats headphones. It doesn't matter. Just put your headphones on, and it will also helps you hear what's going on in class. Because a lot of times what's going on in class, I don't have a studio. I wish I had a studio that I could teach from and broadcast from. So our microphone setup will be limited to a mic that I will set up in class that can pick up the class discussions, but it's not going to be quality audio that I wish I could give you. So everything you'll be doing in class, you'll see when you're in the Collaborate. Down here where it says chat, this is where you can send me messages during class. If you don't want to use the talk feature, please feel free to use the talk feature. You're a part of the class, and you have just as much right to be in the class as anybody else. And in fact, you will hear me talk to you directly in class, and I will refer to you as the people from the great beyond. I will refer to everyone in the class from henceforth. You all are now described as 585ers. You'll hear me use that description of you every time I create a video. Okay, I think that's enough. Please take the time to watch the videos before class. As I said, I will have them posted every Friday afternoon. You can then be prepared for what we're doing. If you are a 585 Distance Ed participant, please do not hesitate to send me text, questions, concerns, using, and this is all in the syllabus, the number 502-457-2787. 2937. Okay? Alrighty. I will see everyone on Monday the 24th. We are in a different classroom than some of you are used to being in. We will be in room 201E. If you come into the ERTC on the second floor of the education building, come up the stairs, go right, and then go left through the double doors into the ERTC, and then immediately go right again down a hallway, little narrow hallway, and our classroom will be the classroom immediately on your right. You'll see the windows looking into the classroom. It's a nice classroom. It's small. I like it. We're not that big, but what I really like is there's a great big table in the back of the room, and when we are doing things where we need to be all participating, like in our book study, we can gather around a table in the back of the classroom and see the collaborate. And I will then be inviting those of you who are in the distance ed portion of the class to join us using video so we all can see each other. I think we'll have a very, very good time. If you are not enjoying yourself in this class, then there's something I'm doing wrong, and you need to let me know that, okay? Because this is a class where you get to build fun, interesting things, and you have the room and the freedom to sit and explore what it really means to authentically integrate technology into your classroom. See you on Monday. Oh, before I forget, those of you who are in the distance ed class, when you are finished in Collaborate, you basically can just close it out. And it says, do you want to leave the session? Yes. And I give you lots of heads up when we are finished in class, so you'll know when you can leave. All right, now I really am finished. See you Monday.